Hi, Carmen.
Hello.
Today we are starting fresh with a quote or with a theme that I am sure everyone probably wants to avoid: panic. And we bring in the Stoic wisdom here with a quote from Seneca that says, "The unprepared are panic-stricken by the smallest things." How do you put this into perspective for us now today?
Well, the thing that comes to my mind immediately is to say, he started by saying unprepared, right? So the first thing that we could imagine or think about or envisage is prepare, get prepared, be prepared, do prepare yourself. Right? So that's the how to say, where I would start in addressing a situation. If I have to apply this, what would be my interventions, or what would be the consequence of listening to it? Is to say, be prepared. Now, for example, when I prepare my clients for a selection process, for an interview, for a meeting, for a negotiation, right? So whenever there is an interaction with one or several stakeholders, the first thing we do is to prepare a lot of scenarios, right? So these scenarios will give them, as I call it, a databases of behavior or reactions, attitudes. So that is the preparedness that we build in his, let's say, consciousness, obviously, in order then, when the situation unfolds, hopefully he could go back to this situation we prepared, and then he could use them, or he could put them to benefit, right? So that would be my first reading, or my first how to say, lesson that I would take from that quote. Then the second is panic, right? Now, again, when I'm thinking about panic, then the first thing I would do is question the panic, right? Is that, how to say that? So, I mean, it's like assess yourself, gauge what's happening, and then the first question, or say a big question, is that necessary to have the panic? Is that the right attitude, or is that even reasonable, or is that even, how would I call that, strictly determined by the situation?
Reason. You have a reason to have it.
Exactly. Reasonable behavior, or reasonable attitude, or logical, if you want, or cause effect, right? So this is the panic. And here, let's say, if I think around the panic, or if I think, let's say, to nuance, to translate it, I'm just wondering whether we can educate in people, and certainly it is what I'm doing with my clients, to educate them to not to go into panic, but to replace the panic with something that is much more useful, or much more, let's call it, manageable, right? So, for example, when we are preparing the interview, one thing which they ask me, so what if they will ask me a question and I don't know the answer, right? Now, could you imagine that this thing in an interview, a selection interview, recruitment interview, is really can cause the panic? Makes sense? And what I'm doing in the preparation of the interview is to say, well, if you don't know, you will say, I don't know. As simple as that. You know, so
it can happen, right? You don't know it. That's it.
That is. So immediately the thought that I don't know what to respond, therefore I will panic about not knowing, it's absolutely deleted or cancelled by the fact that you will say, honestly, I don't know. And then what? And then nothing. In any case, what is the other option? Are you going to kind of invent things or I don't know what, turn around, beat around the bush? In any case, they will see it. It is obvious, right? So instead of trying in a very clumsy manner to save the situation, go straight on the I don't know, and you are safe, right? And you see how that preparation, expecting the panic, but then having a response to the panic or having a response, let's say, to the situation that creates, calms down. And then I'm going then the smallest thing, which is the last words of the quote. And then the comment I will make here is, if ever there is a panic, at least be sure that there are big things involved, right? So it's like your panic, it's how would I call that, can be explained or can be understood or can be, well, not say forgiven or accepted, but certainly not for the small things. So let's say to rephrase the quote in a manner that I would say the way I will use it I use it in the coaching session, and the way it is, in my mind, useful for all of us is, first of all, do prepare, because preparation helps you to have a big toolkit at your disposal whenever the reality happens. Then contemplate the panic or the reasons of the panic or the causes of the panic. So, and prepare in advance responses so that you don't need to react on the spot from unknown into this. And then third thing is it really the, how to say, is it worth it for these small things to panic? So with that, I would close.
It's a very good way to conclude our session today, and thank you for organizing it and let's say explaining the code and reminding us, most of all, that it's okay not to have all the answers as long as you are prepared.
It's okay not to know.
It's okay not to know.